This is getting really bizarre, folks. Donald Trump has canceled even more events today, raising further speculation about the status of his health. This is something that we have covered extensively here at the MeidasTouch Network, and with every passing day, or even it seems every passing hour, we are getting more evidence that there is something seriously wrong lurking beneath the surface. My name is Brett Meiselas, here with the MeidasTouch Network. Remember to hit subscribe right now and help us get to 3.5 million subscribers. To sum it up, Keith Edwards puts it perfectly. Trump has now canceled a 60 Minutes interview, CNBC, a second debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, an NBC interview. He has not confirmed a CNN town hall, and he has now canceled a rally with the NRA. Keith Edwards writes, he is weak and weird, not able to run for 2 weeks, and won't make it for 4 years. Here's the notice this morning put out by the NRA. They say, due to scheduling conflicts, sure, our previously scheduled Defend the Second event in Savannah, Georgia on October 22nd has been canceled. This is the event with Donald Trump. And they say that they are committed to ensuring Donald Trump wins, yada, yada, yada. They had to cancel this event because Donald Trump suddenly backed out. And that's not all Donald Trump backed out of. Brian Stelter reports that overnight he learned of another planned Trump interview that was suddenly scrapped. He writes, NBC News thought it had secured a sit-down with Trump to discuss the economy and other matters, according to 3 sources with knowledge of the matter. The interview was expected to take place in Philadelphia on Monday, and correspondent Christine Romans, a CNN alum, was set to be the interviewer, I'm told, but then it was called off by the Trump team. The interview was quote-unquote postponed, one of the sources said, and NBC is in discussions to reschedule it. As angry staffer writes on Twitter, why is Trump now canceling all of his events after his 39-minute confused DJ session? As the oldest presidential candidate in history, this is very concerning, and the American people deserve answers. What is the Trump campaign hiding about his health? That's an excellent question, and it's on the minds of many Americans right now. By the way, we spoke about CNBC. Earlier this week, Donald Trump canceled his interview with Joe Kernan on CNBC, who is a very pro-Trump host. This is highly unusual. Here's what Joe Kernan had to say live on the air. Watch this.
Well, Trump canceled, and he was going to come on. And I said, when you come on, we'll be able to say you came, and I didn't talk to him personally, but I said.
And then, of course, you remember Trump abruptly canceling on 60 Minutes. Here's the audio from the 60 Minutes intro where they explained why Trump said he canceled and what happened. Watch this.
It's been a tradition for more than half a century that the major party candidates for president sit down with 60 Minutes in October. In 1968, it was Richard Nixon and Hubert Humphrey. This year, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump accepted our invitation. But unfortunately, last week, Trump canceled. The Trump campaign had told us that the interview would be this past Thursday at Mar-a-Lago. They also asked us whether we would meet 78-year-old Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he was grazed in an assassination attempt. We agreed. On September 9th, Trump's communications director, Stephen Chung, sent a text that read, quote, I'm working with our advance team to see logistically if Butler would work in addition to the sit-down. Sit-down meaning the interview in Florida. Days later, Chung called to say, quote, the president said yes. Then, a week ago, Trump backed out. The campaign offered shifting explanations. First, it complained that we would fact-check the interview. We fact-check every story. Later, Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020. Trump claims correspondent Leslie Stahl said in that interview that Hunter Biden's controversial laptop came from Russia. She never said that. Trump has said his opponent doesn't do interviews because she can't handle them. He had previously declined another debate with Harris, so tonight may have been the largest audience for the candidates between now and Election Day. Our questions addressed the economy, immigration, reproductive rights, and the wars in the Middle East and Europe. Both campaigns understood this special would go ahead if either candidate backed out.
And in the moments where Donald Trump has been in public, all of his appearances have been complete and abject disasters. Like Donald Trump was at the Economic Club in Chicago, and he was continuously asked questions, and he would forget the questions and meander and start speaking about completely other things. And the moderator would have to try to bring him back on track. For example, the moderator asked him if Google should be broken up. Donald Trump went on a rant about something completely different, and the moderator had to say, "Hey, Donald, we were talking about Google.
Should Google be broken up?"
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question is about Google, President Trump.
Yeah.
And then there was the moment at the same event where the moderator called him out for rambling and going from all these different topics, from the dollar to Macron, instead of sticking to the questions asked. Donald Trump tried to cover for himself by saying he was doing the weave.
I was going to ask you about the Federal Reserve.
You got to be able to finish a thought, because it's very important. You know, this is big stuff we're talking about. You can't go that quickly.
You've gone from the dollar to
So let
Macron.
me just tell you. So I said, no, I'm just telling you basic, it's called the weave. It's all these different things happening.
Yeah.
So let me just say.
As MeidasTouch host and co-founder Brett Meiselas writes, someone just asked me, is the weave by Trump a symptom of dementia? Yes, it is. Then there was this very bizarre event that we've been speaking about, where Donald Trump was confused on stage for around 39 minutes, just kind of stood there and waddled and swayed as music played, and he kind of refused to take questions after answering just a couple. It was one of the weirdest events that we have ever seen here at the MeidasTouch Network, and during the event, Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, was speaking to Donald Trump. Trump had expressed interest in stopping questions and just playing music. Then Kristi Noem asked Donald Trump if it was time to play the song. Donald Trump had completely forgotten that he had said that he wanted to play a song. And watch here as Kristi Noem speaks to him, kind of the way a nurse speaks to a patient in a mental facility. Watch this.
Anyway, go ahead, please.
Yep. Well, sir, do you want to play your song and then greet a few people, or do you want to? Well, you had said you wanted to close with a specific song.
Okay, let's do a couple of
two more fast questions.
So, Justin, how about a couple of really beauties? And we'll sit down, relax. Let me just give you the bottom line, though.
And by the way, here was one of those bizarre moments when Trump said, let's not do any questions, let's just listen to music at this town hall that was meant to be a question and answer session. Watch this.
Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music. Who the hell wants to hear questions, right? Isn't that beautiful, though? It's so beautiful. And we played that in Butler, Pennsylvania. We had a moment of silence, and then we had the bells of Notre Dame go off, and then we had a great opera singer, Christopher, who was so incredible, and a great, great opera singer.
And even at Trump's staged town hall on Fox, where they planted all these Republican supporters and MAGA supporters and actual Republican Party figures, Donald Trump was asked basic questions about how he would get prices down. By the way, inflation is already coming down tremendously, and Donald Trump started rambling about donuts and stoves. It was very weird.
We're going to get the prices down. We can't just leave them up there because it's going to take too long for people to catch up. That's why I did the social.
I mean, we have to like reset.
No,
I don't know how you reset to prices that are
You
4
can
times
get the
what you
prices
had.
down.
So let me ask you,
by the way, energy
how does
brings
it-
everything down.
How does it trickle down? Does it work that the energy is also cheaper for the companies, and so that the distribution? How does the pricing actually happen? Because the interest rates have come down and inflation rate has come down, but it's like we are going uphill constantly with these prices.
But interest doesn't come down very much, and you can't get the money. Look, it really happens if you make donuts. You have the stoves, you have the dish. Everything is evolved around energy.
Then on Wednesday evening, Trump participated in a town hall on Univision and continuously disgusted the audience members with his answers. You could see this screenshot right here, which really sums it up. Let's play this clip as Donald Trump continued to lie about what happened on January 6th. And I want you to notice the crowd's reaction. Watch.
Action was taken, strong action. Ashley Babbitt was killed. Nobody was killed.
There were no guns down there. We didn't have guns. But that was a day of love from the standpoint of the millions. It's like hundreds of thousands.
And this is one of the reasons why you see Fox going to such great efforts in order to try to sanitize Donald Trump and make him appear normal. For example, remember during that Brett Baer interview with Kamala Harris on Fox, where she did an incredible job when Brett Baer showed a deceptively edited clip. Well, let me show you the clip that was played by Fox, and then you'll see Donald Trump's actual full answer that they edited out.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
Kamala Harris has said you sounded unhinged and unchecked power is in our future. What do you say about that?
I thought it was a nice presentation. I wasn't unhinged. You know what they are? They're a party of sound bites. Somebody asked me, can they be brought together? You know, I never thought really, I wasn't thinking like they could, because they're very, very different. And it is the enemy from within, and they're very dangerous. They're Marxists and communists and fascists, and they're sick. I use a guy like Adam Schiff because they made up the Russia hoax. It took 2 years to solve the problem. Absolutely nothing was done wrong, et cetera, et cetera. They're dangerous for our country. We have China, we have Russia, we have all these countries. If you have a smart president, they can all be handled. The more difficult are, the Pelosi's, these people, they're so sick and they're so evil. If they would spend their time trying to make America great again, it would be so easy to make this country great. But when I heard about that, they were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
All right.
Vice President Harris recently released her medical records, and she's been calling on Donald Trump to do the same because she is seeing what we are all seeing, that this is a deeply unstable person, and it is possible that Donald Trump's handlers are hiding something very big. Listen to Vice President Harris.
So today I released my medical records, as has, I believe, every candidate for President of the United States except Donald Trump in this election cycle. And it's just a further example of his lack of transparency, that on top of his unwillingness to debate again, his unwillingness to do an interview with 60 Minutes, which again is part of the norm of what anyone running for President of the United States does. And I think that it's obvious that his team, at least, does not want the American people to see everything about who he is. And you put that on top of even the most recent reports of General Milley, one of the people who worked the closest with Donald Trump, referring to him as being unstable. And it is clear to me that he and his team do not want the American people to really see what it is that he is doing and whether or not he actually is fit to do the job of being President of the United States.
And you can tell when something is a real problem for Donald Trump by what he is posting on his social media app. Donald Trump posted at 1 o'clock in the morning the other day, quote, "I've put out more medical exams than any other president in history and aced 2 cognitive exams. The doctor stated that my cognitive exams were exceptional. I am far healthier than Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, but especially Kamala. Also, I am far too busy campaigning to take time from the 22 days left, as I am using every hour of everyday campaigning because we have to take back our country from the radical left people that are destroying it. MAGA 2024. With Donald Trump, when he posts something like that, that is what we call a tell, because everything with Trump is projection. And by the way, we got to bring this up also. This was Donald Trump at the Detroit Economic Club last week. And remember when it appeared that he soiled himself on stage? Watch this.
This is a catastrophe for the American dream and a dire crisis from commerce to labor to FEMA.
Yeah, this is serious stuff. It seems like there are very serious issues lurking that Donald Trump's handlers are trying to hide. This is probably why they are preventing him from going on all of these mainstream shows. And anytime he does a public appearance, it is a complete and utter disaster. Meanwhile, over 250 doctors and healthcare providers have called on Trump to release his medical records. They wrote a letter stating, quote, Trump is displaying irrationality and irritability. Given his advancing age, his refusal to disclose even basic health information is a disservice to the American people. Still, no response from Donald Trump. So here's where we are with under 20 days left until Election Day. We have one of the major candidates out there refusing to release any information on his health as we see him in public deteriorating more and more by the day and canceling events, it seems, almost every minute now. What are they hiding? What is Donald Trump hiding about his health? We are going to stay on this story day in and day out because this is crucial to the future of our country and the public deserves to know. Thank you so much for watching. Help us get to 3.5 million subscribers by subscribing right now. If you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell. And most importantly, make sure that you use your voice and go out and vote. Vote, vote, vote. Tell all your friends and family to vote. Now is the time to make a difference in our democracy. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.